This is Modern Service Mastery, business school with boots on. Real lessons, real talk, and real growth for the residential service industry. Let's get to work.
All right, Jake, let's start with a question I use all the time. What's the most important feeling you want to have when the project's done? This isn't about features or pricing. It's about emotion. It's how we build trust, you know?
Yeah, I like that. It's way deeper than just slapping down some pavers and calling it a day. So like you're saying, if someone's focused on, let's say, relaxation, you steer the convo towards creating that vibe.
Exactly. You connect to that feeling, whether it's peace, joy, excitement. One client, she told me she just wanted to enjoy wine by a fire pit with friends. That opened up a whole conversation about fire features and ambient lighting.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to chill with some fire pit vibes, right?
Right. And here's where you dive a little deeper. Ask questions like, what's frustrating you most about your space right now? It surfaces pain points. Once you know those, you can offer real solutions.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Do they like actually open up? Or do they hit you with stuff like, hey, it's fine?
That's where you guide them a bit. Paint the picture, like a role play I use. Mrs. Carter, when you picture yourself in your backyard on a Saturday night, what do you see? Boom, she says, relaxing, sipping wine. Then I say, perfect. Let's add built-in seating, a simple water feature. May I show you options?
Ah, I see what you're doing there. You're like planting the idea but not being pushy. Smooth.
Right, it's consultative, not a hard sell. Plus, it makes them feel heard. You're solving their real problems while building trust.
You're like a therapist, man. Tell me how you feel about your current bathroom.
In a way, yeah. Empathy opens doors, Jake. It's how you go from being just another contractor to their trusted advisor.
All right, Dr. Home Improvement Therapist, teach me your ways. Let's dive into one of those role plays you mentioned. How do you handle someone who's like super undecided? What's your move there?
All right, role play mode on. Let's say I walk into the client meeting. I start by framing it with a question like, when you picture your yard at its best, what do you see? Relaxation, entertaining, maybe playing with the kids? That opens the door.
Okay, yeah, but what if they just stare at you like, I don't know?
That's a fair point. What you do then is create a vision for them. Let's say they've got a patchy lawn that bugs them. I'd say something like, imagine this whole area level, lush and green, perfect for a Saturday barbecue or a place to just stretch out and relax. How does that sound?
I like it. You're walking them through the future, like real visual stuff.
Exactly. And once they show interest, like nodding or saying, yeah, that sounds good, and that's your cue to talk enhancements. You say, what if we added some pathway lighting to guide you, or up lights here to bring warmth? Would you want to explore those options?
Man, that's clean. You're not throwing products at them. You're weaving it into their dream.
Exactly, Jake. And you always tie it back to how they'll feel. Like peace of mind of a new roof, or the joy of hosting friends in a bigger, warmer feeling dining room. Ethical upselling. It's all about what genuinely enhances their experience.
All right, let me try this. I walk into the client's home and we sit down at the kitchen table. I start by saying, thanks for having me over. Before we dive into specifics, I'd love to understand your experience with your current heating and cooling system. Are there particular times of the year when certain rooms feel too hot or too cold?
Yes, this question opens the door to understanding their comfort challenges.
Okay, depending on their response, I might follow up with, have you noticed any inconsistencies in temperature throughout the house or fluctuations in your energy bills during peak seasons? As they share, I listen attentively, taking notes. Then I might ask, great, so we need to create a solution that ensures consistent comfort in every room and reduces your energy costs. Sound right?
You got it, Jake. By focusing on their comfort and efficiency needs, you can tailor suggestions that align with their goals. It's not just about replacing equipment, it's about enhancing their daily living experience. And when they say, wow, I hadn't thought about all of that, you know you've hit it.
Yep, trust unlocked.
Exactly. And every time you solve a problem like that or add something meaningful, it's not just a sale. It's a memory, a story they'll tell people about how you changed their space. Okay, transforming their space is huge, but you know what really seals the deal? Engagement. It's not just about doing the job and walking away. It's about staying in their lives, showing that you care, like proactive client check-ins.
Oh, totally. Like the follow-ups where you ask, hey, how's that patio holding up? Instead of disappearing into the contractor void.
Exactly. I mean, how often do people forget about their contractors because they never hear back? It takes, 10 minutes to call or stop by to say, hey, just wanted to see how everything's working out for you. Simple, but powerful.
And it's not just the job, right? I mean, those calls open up all kinds of doors, new projects, referrals, easy wins if you just show up.
Right. And listen, here's the key to those conversations. You bring value first. Ask about maintenance needs, suggest small changes that could improve their space. Like, ever thought about replacing these closet doors to complement the new look of the other areas? Or, why don't we think about adding in some smart technology while we're making these changes? Ethical and thoughtful suggestions go a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, people love it when you actually listen to what they need. Like, no one's going to get mad if you show up to make their lives easier.
Exactly, Jake. And let's talk phased planning. This is huge for building trust. Instead of just designing to their budget, you map out their dream vision first. Then work with them to phase it. Break it into manageable parts that work over time.
All right, but how do you even start that conversation? Like, hey, we're building a dream but splitting the bill.
It's all about framing. You say, are we designing this space to meet your ideal vision, or is the goal to focus on what fits your budget right now? Then you let them know you can adjust. They see you as a partner, not just someone pushing for the big paycheck up front.
Okay, I like this. And once they get a taste of what's possible, they're way more likely to come back to finish things later, right?
Exactly. You're planting the seeds for future phases, and those dream projects keep them coming back because they trust you'll help them get there.
Okay, let me throw a quick story at you. So last year, I had this one client who wrapped up a backyard redo. We celebrated with the whole neighborhood, a little BBQ and drinks to show off. Guess what? That one party got us 2 new projects in the same block.
That's a great example, Jake. Celebrating milestones builds goodwill, not just with the client, but their whole network. Plus, it's fun, right?
I mean, who doesn't love a good excuse to host a party? And let's be real, it doesn't take much. A couple of good pizzas and a few bottles of wine. You got yourself goodwill for years.
Exactly. And that goodwill turns clients into advocates. It's all about thoughtful engagement, regular check-ins, phased planning, celebrations. It's how you go from being just a contractor to being their trusted advisor for the long haul.
Yeah, man, it's like the ultimate trust hack. Serve, listen, and celebrate. It's not rocket science, but it works.
All right, folks, as we wrap up today's episode, remember that the real magic in sales happens when we connect on a human level. It's not just about products or services. It's about understanding and addressing the emotional needs of our clients. We've discussed various strategies and techniques, but now it's your turn. Head over to the comments section and share your go-to conversation starters that help build empathy and emotional rapport with clients. Maybe it's a question that opens up a meaningful dialogue or a story that resonates deeply.
And if you're looking for fresh ideas, don't hesitate to ask. Our community is here to support each other. Mike and I might even jump into the conversation to share our thoughts and experiences.
Yeah, and hey, don't forget to take a second to enjoy your own wins too. You earned it. Catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to Modern Service Mastery Business School with Boots On. If this episode helped you lead, grow, or think differently, share it with your crew and keep the momentum going.